Hey guys, it's host Brianna Whitney. We want to welcome everybody back from the holidays. We want to get everybody back up to speed with where we're at in the investigation so far, ahead of releasing brand new episodes starting next week with Detective Troy Hillman, who has never been able to speak about this case until now. Sunday, November 8th, 1992, just one day before her 22nd birthday, Angela Brasso did something she did a lot. She went for a bike ride. It was early evening, 7 p.m. The sun had already set, and Angela set off to the east, toward Cave Creek Park in North Phoenix. She did not make it far.
The next morning, the morning of Angela's birthday, police found a body, not more than 100 yards from Angela's apartment complex, in a field near a dry wash, naked, wearing only shoes and socks. She was mutilated, her blood-soaked clothes carefully placed in a pile nearby.
Police can't confirm that the body is Angela Brasso. There is no head, and there's no sign of Angela's bike.
It was the work of a monster. And what police were just starting to piece together is that this may not be the monster's first victim, or his last.
One of the things that one of the detectives said to me, count on it, this guy's going to do something like this again.
On episode 1, we set the scene of terror happening in the Sunny Slope area of Phoenix. 5 young women found dead near or along canals. DNA found at 2 of the crime scenes was linked to the same person, but police couldn't figure out whose it was until decades later. Then a string of crimes began in Washington. The common connection to all of these women, their proximity to one mysterious man.
He was the invisible man. He had issues with women and how they respond to his actions.
You don't know what's in their mind. You don't know what's going to trigger them to do something that they do.
On episode 2, we took you into the dark fantasy world of Bryan Patrick Miller, the zombie hunter. Pages and pages of police reports document a childhood riddled with family abuse, and a juvenile record that detailed violent tendencies even before the canal murders. That all caught up with him in 2015.
Who could this suspect possibly be?
From underneath the patio, they pulled out a car we never even knew he had.
I've been involved in cases that we solved in 2 hours, and I've been involved in cases that we've solved in 2 years.
I think hoarding was enough. Did they really need to go zombie hunter? You know, you just go, I mean, you're making the guy out to be a complete loon. He's a complete loon.
Oh my God, they got him!
On episode 3, we took you through the fascinating world of forensic genealogy and how it was used with the canal murders' DNA to lead to an arrest in the case. Bryan Patrick Miller, the zombie hunter, is charged with the murders of both Angela Brasso and Melanie Bernis. But in episode 1, we told you 5 young women were found dead. One of those a teenager who may be connected to all of this as well.
Brandy hadn't come back yet. Right away, they had taped off my whole apartments. They were questioning everybody who lived there. When I met with the police, we know everything, and do you want to know?
On episode 4, we detailed the disappearance of 13-year-old Brandy Myers. The teen went missing while collecting money for a school project and has never been found. After a chilling interview with Bryan Patrick Miller's ex-wife, she believed Bryan killed Brandy. Phoenix police recommended Miller be charged with first-degree murder for Brandy's disappearance and death, but the county attorney's office declined to charge him. Brandy's sister is still fighting for justice.
And he pulled her in the house, started stabbing her. She was alive for all that. Then he slit her throat and killed her. I honestly felt like I would live my entire life and die and never know what happened to her.
On episode 5, we spoke on the phone to a woman named Melinda, who was rollerblading the canal trail the night Angela Brasso went missing. She described being watched by a man on a bicycle with a backpack, who she says would then come up behind people on his bike. She remembered passing Angela on the trail as Angela was riding her bike in the opposite direction. Melinda's detailed encounter of what happened has left her with trauma for decades. She shared her story with both detectives and the Maricopa County Attorney's Office.
I was 27 and I was always running alone. I was noticing everybody that was on the trail. He had stopped down up ahead and sat on the picnic table. And as we got closer, I don't know, I just had a bad feeling. And so I turned around before he could get to me.
On episode 6, we talked to 3 different people who came forward about chilling encounters they had face-to-face with Bryan Patrick Miller. His old neighbor recalled when he followed her at night with the zombie hunter police car.
I looked in my rear view, seeing what I thought was a cop.
A fellow church member described his bizarre demeanor with their youth group.
Oh my God, that is him.
And one of our news photographers recalled the night before and moments during Bryan's arrest.
But a homicide of that nature is not one and done. I think he's a mass murderer. And if they can tie him to other homicides, I wouldn't be surprised.
Morgan Lowe picks up the investigation and story here in Washington State.
They killed my sister. They took her away from her family, and they're out there free. We never thought that it would take this long.
He said, if you give me the knife, I won't hurt you. And he then strangled me until I passed out.
We'll be back with new exciting episodes on January 10th.
This is True Crime Arizona, The Zombie Hunter.